So, bore da, everyone.
And croeso, welcome.
We're not in Wales, but it feels like we are because we are at the Welsh Tea Shop in Clark Summit, and I'm here with Courtney Roby, and you look fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
She's dressed in the traditional garb,
Yes,
right?
I am.
You're all about Welsh tea, and of course, the famous Welsh tea cookies, right?
Of course. So it's actually something that we did around Christmas time with our grandma. So it was a tradition we did, so it's a family recipe that we use.
Nice.
And we do it with nutmeg and currants, which is the traditional way that Welsh cookies are made. A lot of people will use raisins, and it's interesting because each Welsh family has a different take on the Welsh cookie. So in the dough, it's not like your typical cookie. It's more kind of like a bread kind of a dough.
Right.
So it's not like your super kind of soft
Right.
dough. And with this, you can't over mix it. When you mix it, it has to be, I say, if you want to touch it a little bit, you can kind of feel it. It's almost like a silly putty kind of a sense consistency.
It is.
So Welsh cookies are also known as Welsh cakes in Wales. So they're more like a tea cake or a tea biscuit. So they're not that typical cookie where they're super sweet. They're definitely more of a, I want to definitely say like a biscuit or a scone.
Right.
So that's kind of what they look like once you cut them out.
Okay.
And then what we do is we put them what's called a bake stone. So back in the day, they would use bake stones rather than griddles.
So they're not going on a cookie sheet in the oven?
Nope, they are not baked. They are actually griddled.
Interesting.
Yes.
I love it.
So we tell people they're kind of like pancakes because of the way that they're cooked.
Okay.
That's what you want to do is you want to look for a certain color on it because you don't want them to be too dark because then they're burnt or too light, which means they're undercooked.
Gotcha. Now, does it really matter if you use like the darker currants or the light currants? Does it matter? Or?
No, it doesn't because currants are just like a berry. They're not like your typical raisin, so they're not super sweet.
Okay.
So we only cook our cookies to about 250 because what happens is if you go too high, they will burn on the bottom.
All right.
We try to keep it so that way it cooks in the center and it also is still moist. Another way you can tell too is right on the rim of the cookie. You can start to kind of see it gets a bit of a crust. So it kind of dries a little bit.
Yep.
And so that's something you want to look at too. So once we've checked both sides, you're then going to take it like this and you're just going to slide it right onto the plate, just like that.
Well, they look fabulous.
Yes, and the best thing about them is you can actually try them. They're the best to eat warm too because you get that nice warm flavor of the nutmeg.
All right,
shall we?
Yes, absolutely. Oh, they look delicious.
Yes. Here we go.
Oh my goodness. These are perfectly made. I love the taste of the currants and the nutmeg, that hint of nutmeg. Perfect consistency. They are not dry at all.
Nope.
You nailed it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Courtney, for showing us how to make these.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, my sister actually has some more to say. She's going to talk a little bit more about the shop and the different things that we sell. So.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. So our recipe started out with my grandmother and was passed down generation to generation. And I took her family recipe and I spun off anywhere from around 30 to 50 different flavors of Welsh cookies that you'll find kind of sporadically throughout the year here in the shop. Yeah. So our flavors that kind of stick around year round are our lemon blueberry, our orange cranberry, traditional butter, and traditional lard. Those ones are our staples that you're always going to find here year round. They're never going to change. We offer different Celtic teas. All of our teas are imported from the UK. So we have our Welsh collections, which are going to be your boldest flavors. They're going to be a lot more strong in flavor, but very smooth, very rich. Then coming next is going to be your Scottish and your English teas. Those are going to be a little more on the light side. Still very smooth, wonderful flavor, and your Irish kind of sits right in the middle, which is great.
I just love it because when you stop in here, it really feels like you're in a faraway place and you're on a little mini vacation.
Exactly.
And you get the sights, the sounds, the smells, the tastes of Wales. I just love it. You guys have done such a great job here.
So we're located at 312 South State Street in Clark Summit. We do also have our website that you can visit if you'd like to maybe place an order. If you can't make it down here, our website is The Welsh Tea Shop, and that's with a PPE, not just SHOP.com. You can order, we do delivery, we do shipping, we ship all over the US.
Oh, nice.
So all of our cookie flavors are on our website.
Great.
Yeah, if you also follow us on Facebook, we do a lot of local events as well. So starting next week, actually, we're gonna be up at the Circle Drive-In at the flea market up there, which is actually where we started.
Is that on Sundays?
It's on Sundays, yeah.
Right.
So Sundays from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Well, once again, thanks for having us here at the Welsh Tea Shop in Clark
course,
Summit.
thank you.
And how do you say goodbye in
It's going to be Hwyl.
Hwyl?
Yes.
Hwyl. Well, thank you very much in Hwyl.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.